What's up, y'all? Y'all heard me right. This is Mike back in the building. Respect the chat podcast.
We made it through 32 episodes without a stumble, but
Gotta have
it
one.
happens.
You gotta have one. You know why I'm so excited that I'm making trades in fantasy? That's all I have in my head right now. A lot of people reaching out to me about trades. Trade deadline coming up. A lot of trades happening in fantasy. So if y'all out there and y'all need to improve your team, improve it now because the time is up. I believe tomorrow is like probably the trade deadline.
I think in most leagues, yeah. I know with Yahoo, I think the standard is the 10th, which is tomorrow.
Okay, Rich is here. You hear his voice.
Let's
Frankie's
go.
here.
Yo.
Right, so that's what it is. The trade deadline by them is tomorrow, you said?
Yeah, I'm sure you could change it.
Mm-hmm.
So some leagues might have.
Right.
But that's what ours is set at, the 10th.
Rich is looking for a trade as well. We're going to get to those trade talks a little bit later in the show. We'll talk a little bit.
Always fun.
We'll talk a little script first, and then we'll get into it a little bit because I want to hear what everybody's got to say because that's what people want to hear anyway. It's a trade deadline. We got to talk about relevant stuff. But what I want to talk about that's relevant is yesterday I sincerely, for the first time, watch a whole Steeler game. So now I get to see. Okay, I've been saying that Le'Veon Bell is, definitely the better back than Connor is what I've been saying. Definitely the better back. The record shows that they're better with Bell, but the stats show that they're just the same. Could we agree on that?
Well, the record now is really good.
It's pretty much the same. They're 6-2-1. They might have been 7-2 last year.
No, well, they weren't. They were 7-1 last year.
Well,
they lost their first game and then they rattled off the rest. So it's not the same. Why can't we just say yes or no when I ask a question?
No,
because
it's the
when
same. You guys ask me a question, you want the answer. When I ask one of you two a question, it's like, well,
what's
it's basically the same.
What's the difference between 7-2 and 6-2-1 and 7-1? It's pretty much the same.
They're in first place.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all that matters.
So whatever. All right. So let's get to the question. So I watched the game, and I say to myself, man, this team, forget about the running back, this team is really, really good, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Do you think the Steelers are really good?
I think the Steelers are really good. The offense has always been good. It was just the defense in the first couple of weeks. We could have went out there and scored on that defense, but lately, that defense is playing good. When you watched that game last night with Bud coming off the edge and T.J. Watt on the other side, like that defense was getting pressure on Cam, and that's a pretty decent, good offensive line. And Cam hit the ground maybe 5-6 times, and then T.J. Watt was taking him down, and he threw that pick six right in the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're heading in the right direction. The Steelers, if that defense could keep on playing the way they've been playing, I think they're going in the right direction.
Frank, what do you think? Steelers are a really good team, or Carolina just hit a bro bump?
It's a little bit of both. I personally think that Carolina is the better team, which is why I lost $30 on that game.
Nice.
You bet $30 on them?
Like Riverboat Ron was saying, every team has those games.
What did I tell you, though, about betting on the Steelers at home in a primetime game? Big Ben.
Yeah, but what do you tell me every other time and you're wrong?
But look at
so
Big
you
Ben.
happen to be right.
Look at
this
Big Ben's.
one time.
But look at Big Ben's stats when he plays in a primetime game at home. He's unbelievable. And once again, last night, what was he? 23 for 25.
He threw more touchdowns than he threw incomplete passes.
Exactly.
5 touchdowns. I think only 4 incomplete passes.
Big Ben is unreal at home.
I never discredit Ben. The thing was,
3 incomplete
I
passes.
thought that he was more hurt than what he obviously was. I thought that he was banged up from the last game.
Okay, so
he went down really hard. I figured that he was going to have some lingering issues and maybe wouldn't get off to the start that he obviously did.
Okay, so you think Carolina?
I think they're both really good. That's
Okay.
a playoff game.
Okay.
Right? Carolina keeps playing the way they did before this particular game. They're in the playoffs, and the Steelers are going to be right in there too. That's a playoff caliber game. Both of those teams are playoff teams.
Yeah.
I honestly think that, obviously, again, it didn't show in this game. I think Carolina has the advantage on defense, and Pittsburgh has the advantage on offense.
Okay, I like that. This is what I see, right? I watched the game last night, and I say, if Le'Veon Bell comes back to this team, currently this team right now, they are just as good. You're telling me a team wouldn't open up their arms to one of the best running backs in the league.
Why would you do that when you already have a great
I'm
running
not
back
saying
Because you
and a
anything
great
add
bad
to your
about
system?
team.
Bell.
But
You
you're not.
add to your team. You're not taking away from your team
You're taking-
by adding a star player.
You're taking carries from Gurley now. Listen, that affects the guy's
And when-
momentum, and like you it doesn't work. It doesn't work. How many times have you seen teams with two legit running backs and actually
You
had
got Kamara, right? What happened to Kamara when they started giving Ingram the ball that first game?
Well, they worked Ingram, and he didn't get as many carries.
Okay,
Not only
so
did
okay,
he,
then what happened
did he
the next
not
game?
get it?
Okay,
no,
they
no,
went
but
right back to being
they
himself.
Went
Kamara
back to
got-
And
Kamara.
they realized what the game plan was.
Yeah, Kamara
they
got
used
the ball
Kamara,
back, and
they
Ingram
used
getting
Kamara more,
nothing.
and Ingram gets less.
Yes.
But listen, Ingram is not Le'Veon Bell, is what I'm saying.
But
and
you
second,
can't
they both
split
get
that.
their touches. They both have their opportunities to get things done.
How many
if
times-
you get Bell back and you put him in after run Connor 2 plays, run Bell 2 plays, you're going to tell me that's not a good look? Split him outside, let him catch a touchdown. There's guys rotating in and out of there. Why wouldn't you want another guy rotating onto your field that's Le'Veon Bell? Why wouldn't you want that?
But if you're Bell or if you're Gurley, that's not the situation that you want to be in.
Oh, listen,
you
the
don't
Gur-
want
the
to
Gurley-
work every other drive. You want to work every drive.
Well, listen,
you're the best running back in the NFL. You
How
want
many-
you
But
want to
that's not what
have that
happens, though.
number one spot.
That's not what happens.
Exactly.
Though.
It is what
It doesn't what
happens.
happens in the NFL. There's a guy who runs first and second down, and they always have a third down guy. There's not that
Right.
many 4 down backs in the NFL, or they let them be.
So
rather.
who's the
They
third
let them
down
be.
back in that scenario, though? Who's the third
Bell.
down back?
Let Bell be the third down back.
And he's going to be cool with that?
He
I
has
wouldn't.
to be cool with it.
I wouldn't.
He has
So-
to be cool with it.
So Bell's
You don't
getting
have a
10
choice.
touches a game. That's
So
it.
who's going to be the
But
third down back
You don't know
in,
that
in
that's what
Pittsburgh?
he's getting. Bell
If-
is what I'm saying. The third down back is going to be Bell.
So Bell's
For
only
the
going to get 10
Steelers.
He
touches a
could,
game.
he could pass block, and he can go out and catch the ball if need be.
Just third
Or
downs.
they could run it. No. Of course they would rotate him in. They would rotate in together.
I just don't think you touch with what you have right now.
I don't-
That
I-
team
I
that team's
don't see
playing
how that
well.
messes up the
You're doing
culture,
good.
though,
You're
with
winning.
the guy
The
who's been
team's
there.
clicking. I just think you don't mess with that.
All right, how about now?
The
though?
guy held out for 10 weeks.
He held out for 10 weeks.
Listen,
You
guess
know
what?
why?
You come back to the
Because
team, you're sitting the bench for the rest of the year.
organization didn't do the guy right.
Bell's
Just like
gone
the
next year.
Cowboys didn't do Dez right.
Why would first of all? Here's another thing. Why would they play Bell and take Connor's carries away? Now you're discouraging him. Like how important am I really to your team when this guy comes back that did you dirty, and you're gonna take my carries away when I've been busting my butt all year long doing what I've
He
been
wouldn't
doing?
say that.
Yes, he
No,
would.
he wouldn't say that, Connor.
What type of? Okay.
First of all,
Okay.
can he bang for all the games? Is what I'm saying. It's 1 year. That's why I'm also bringing.
Can he
this up.
bang for all the
It's
games? Look
1
what he's been
year.
doing.
It's 1 year that this
1,000
guy has been playing this way.
That's all
when
he's
this
had,
guy
though. You
starts
can't
to
put
play,
that
but
against
wait a
him. He had
second.
1 year
But
under
you-
him.
But this is what they're doing. Everybody is they're crowning this guy the greatest running back, and he's better
Nah,
than
no
Bell.
one's saying that.
No, everyone is saying it. Every single
They're
person
saying
is
the
saying
offense is
they're
the same.
better. They're better without him. They're better without him.
The
They're
offense,
better.
not
1
Connor.
year.
Because
It's
the
1
stats
year.
prove it.
Listen, I love the guy. I think the guy is really good, and I love his story. He's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. But he played 7 games,
which were better than any of Bell's 7 games ever.
for 1 year.
Doesn't matter.
It's
It doesn't
1
matter
year.
if it's 1
to
year
be
or
a
not.
good running back, you got to do it consistently.
Okay,
If
so
he
give the
takes
guy a
dump
chance.
next year, what happens?
Can I just
Okay.
say something?
So this conversation is relevant next year.
No, no,
but
just like-
as of right now, in the moment, Connor's the better running back right now. He has 1,000 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns. You can't take that from the kid.
That's
you
fi-
can't take it from him.
That's fine, but but then listen to what happens. He goes out of the game and they throw Ridley in, and what does Ridley do? He scores a touchdown.
That's what we've been saying the whole time. But
So okay, so is
Listen.
it the offense or is it Bell and Connor?
no,
I mean, offensive line or is it Bell and Connor?
I think people are just saying that Pittsburgh, that's their mentality. Any running back is going to succeed in that position.
I agree.
Their offense is so explosive. They don't need Bell. Nobody's saying that Bell isn't the 1 or 2 best running back in the NFL.
Okay.
I think that's what you're getting caught up on.
No.
I think they're saying that Pittsburgh doesn't need a 1 or 2 best running back in the NFL.
And all
They
I'm
don't
s-
need or want one because they don't want to pay for one.
all I'm saying is what the question was what when Rich was saying it messes up the culture. How do you not want to add another guy on a team?
Well, I think that he's saying
And-
that. I think that he's saying that because when Bell held out this last time, the offensive line was verbally upset with him. Right? They
they're
all
upset,
came out
they're
and
upset
had
because they have to answer questions about a guy who's not there. That's what they all said last night. We're not mad at him, is what they said. They said we're upset that we have to answer questions
It brings controversy
about a guy who's not here. That's
right?
it. That's
it brings
why we're mad.
controversy. So if Bell comes back, it's going to bring more controversy, right? Now you
let me
have
ask you
a
this question.
position battle at running back that brings controversy. The reporters are going to continuously ask, if Bell has a great game, what's going to happen to Connor? If Bell has not so great game, what's going to happen to Bell? It just brings more controversy.
So
a
And
great-
whether
instead
that's
of
Bell's
deal-
fault or
listen,
not is
instead of dealing with the
irrelevant.
controversy, you just say we don't want you.
Here's the
Well,
thing.
because what they have now is working. If it wasn't working, then
It's
obviously
working
you would
till
take
they're
that
healthy,
chance.
right? It's
Can I-
working because he's healthy.
Because
Now
who's
that
healthy?
Connor. Now he's got a concussion.
Well, that's any team ever.
Okay, right.
Mike,
but that's what I'm saying.
listen
So if
to
you
it like
add
this.
a guy, if any other team has Le'Veon Bell that they could also play, if God forbid one of their guys get hurt,
But is it
and they
worth
could
the
put Le'Veon
controversy?
Bell in, of course it is. To me, it is. If you can have a running back get hurt and have Le'Veon Bell in the waiting, what do you say to yourself? We're fine. We're absolutely fine.
But
Let's-
Bell doesn't want to be in the waiting.
Mike,
Yeah,
look at
he
this.
already said 1,000,000 times
Look at it
that
this-
he's a want to play on the team. He knows what the team looks like. He's been watching
But
the
that
games.
doesn't mean he wants to be a backup running back.
He's going to be a backup running back for 8 games, and he's not going to be a backup running back. He's going to share the load with this guy. They're going to do it together and go on a run.
But the Steelers
Is
also
what I'm
know.
saying. Together, they're better. That
I
team is
don't think
better
so.
with Le'Veon Bell.
I don't
they're
think
not
so.
worse.
Well,
How?
Listen, yes, they're not worse with him.
No, that's what we use. That's what they're saying. Is it mess up the culture? It mess up the flow? That's worse to me. It's not better.
I just don't think they should do that. I just don't. Look at it this way. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I don't know when it was, the Dallas Cowboys were in the same situation. Your boy Dak came in, took that team to 7-1.
Yeah.
Romo comes back healthy now. Why didn't you guys start Romo? He was your guy in the past.
Well, you can't play two quarterbacks.
Okay, but why? But why did you stick with Dak?
Because he won 8 games.
Okay, Connor.
No.
It's
Nothing
a
else.
different position. It's a different position.
No.
You can't compare that.
No, because
It's a different- you
Romo
could
was
play
your
two
guy.
guys.
Romo was your guy.
But
So- and you-
Connor doesn't play 4 downs. He's gonna be subbed out at one point.
Connor plays
Why not
4
sub
downs.
him out with Bell?
Connor plays four
He
downs.
doesn't.
He's
I
in.
think-
He's in
And
every single
he's
down.
not. Listen, he got a concussion. As of right now,
Don't you think
he has
that's
a
the
concussion.
NFL though?
Every running
is,
back has a
is
concussion
learning,
every once
is
in a while.
learning
Okay,
from
but
the
guess
running
what?
backs.
Now he's not there. Who would you rather be the backup? Connor goes down. Who would you rather have the backup? Samuel, Ridley, or Bell?
Obviously, Bell.
Okay,
but
so what's the
Bell's
problem?
But Bell's not going to be the backup. That's what you're not understanding.
Everyone's putting words and thoughts into this guy's head. This guy is staying out because he wants to get paid, which we all agreed on. The team had a choice. The team had a
I
choice
don't
in the
have
beginning
any
of the
beef
year.
with Bell.
Trade him or
You're taking this
sign him
personally.
to a no. I'm not taking personally.
You are, though.
No, I'm not. I'm getting fired up. That's what this is about. This is
Because-
a topic that's fire. I'm
because
saying
I
it
would
doesn't
like
ma-
Bell to be on any other team ever, and I think he makes.
Why wouldn't you? All
I
I'm
think he
saying
makes
is the Steelers are
almost-
even better with Bell. That's what I'm saying. That's
I
what I said in
don't.
the
I
beginning
don't
of this.
agree.
Yeah.
And
How?
it's not because I
agree.
don't
How?
like Bell.
How would you don't agree? Because it messes up the flow. Is what you're
Yes.
saying?
The whole
I don't
chemistry.
think
of
it
that team,
works to have two
Yes.
dominant running backs.
It won't
We've
work.
never seen it before. You've never seen it before, so you have nothing to base that on. You've never seen it.
It can't work.
How do you know?
Because a running back gets maybe 20 to 25 touches a game, correct? A number one running back. That's what Gurley's getting.
I've seen it hurt people.
That's what
before.
Zeke's
getting.
I've seen
When?
it hurt.
Yes.
I've seen it hurt Hill when they wanted to play Bernard.
Hill
half
and
the time.
Bernard are not Connor and Bell.
But they're comparable.
no,
I
not even
think,
close.
I think when Hill came into the league, he
Stinks.
had the same kind of talent that definitely Connor has.
Whatever, the same kind of talent, but he never produced like Connor's producing.
Yeah, because he was in a 2 running back system.
No, that's not why. Because
That
he
is
stinks. That's why he stinks.
I don't think so.
James Conner was running hard last year. They don't have the offensive line. Pittsburgh Steelers, to me, have the best offensive line in the NFL. Whose offensive line is better? Do you think?
But what does that
Saints,
have to
maybe,
do with
maybe
Bell?
the Saints. Because
just saying,
because you put two
if
guys
Bell-
back there
if Bell
who
comes
could
back-
dominate for you in the playoffs and when it starts to when the games
All I
start
know
to get
that
grunt.
is if I was a running back, I would want to know what my role was. And if Bell comes back, then you don't know down to down if you're going to be playing or not,
The
and
only-
how many downs you're going to be playing.
The only
Okay.
thing I just thought of, which makes a little sense, to kind of go with Mike, he held out because he's trying to worry about his health. So maybe he does come back, and he's like, listen, I'll be that third down back. So now So now he's taking less of a risk of getting hurt. He's only doing the 10, 12
Right,
catches,
but last
targets.
time he came back from how many games off? It took him 4 games to get going.
Yes, it's going to
right?
take him a while
if
to get
he's
going.
only a third down back, how many games is it going to take him to get going? They're going to be in the goddamn Super Bowl before he's going.
They could afford to let him get going because they have a guy who's dominant.
Why don't you just stick with the guy who's dominant?
Because once the playoffs come and once the game starts getting late in the year, you got a guy who's just taking on all the load for the first time ever, and he's eventually going to break down if you don't get him help.